Hey guys, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I am going to be doing my April wrap-up, talking about all the books that I read in the month of April. I read a total of 7 books this month, which isn't bad considering last month, but I've really been in a slump this year and I'm currently in one, but let's talk about what I read. The book I read this month was Salem's Lot by Stephen King. This book I read also the previous month and I continued it in April because it's kind of big. And I did a project on this for school because we got to choose our own book and it's kind of a tradition for me to choose a Stephen King book. So I went with Salem's Lot, which I've owned this for over a year, so happy to get this off my TBR. And this is about Ben Myers, I never knew how to say it. I called it Myers, but I don't think it's Myers. Going back to Jerusalem's Lot after he did grow up there, and it's just about him re-experiencing the town and all the crazy things that go on, and it's really interesting. It does involve vampires, by the way, but I really appreciated how he didn't make them overly romanticized Twilight, but I really like how they were portrayed. They were portrayed like they should be, which is scary and freaky and oh my gosh. But it wasn't the best Stephen King book I read, but I did enjoy it. I liked the characters and it was interesting. I gave Salem's Lot a 3.75 out of 5. And the next book I read was a book that I also carried on from the previous month, and that was To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And again, reading this one for school, so I'm not going to talk about it too much because we discussed it so much in class. Like, yeah, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the characters. I really liked Scout, Atticus, and everybody else. And I really loved Atticus and Calpurnia. I just liked that. I don't know. I think this really racism and discrimination and all that. Like, if you like books like that, like this is like a staple for you. So I thought it was really interesting. Like, you know, blacks versus white and all these things going on, and just Scout and maturation and all this stuff that we discussed. But I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. And the next book I read was Identical by Ellen Hopkins, and this is a book about 2 sisters, 2 twins, and it's about them, and they're not very loved at home. Their dad's abusive and their mom's never around, so it kind of just is about them. And if you don't know, Ellen Hopkins writes in verse, so her books are usually 500 to 600 pages, all written like this. This is my 3rd Ellen Hopkins book, and I did really enjoy this one. I do have a full-length review on it, so I'll link that up on the screen, but I did give this one a 3.75 out of 5. Next, I read Captive Prince by C.S. Pacat, and this is an adult fantasy erotica, and basically this has been really hyped up, and it's been floating around a lot recently, and that's just because it has a prince and prince romance. The one prince being betrayed and then sold to the other prince to be a sex slave, basically. Obviously it's adult and it's just about what goes on there. I had a lot of problems with this. Yes, it was fast paced, and yes, it was like it was a fast read. Like, I know, I get why people like it, but at the same time I was like, huh? Because it had no plot. It did not feel like a fantasy, like no world building either. And I just, it's so complicated. Like, there's so many things to say about this book, and it's just torture scene after torture scene. So it was weird. I gave it a 2.75 out of 5. So I read Saga Volume 5 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, and I went to the bookstore actually, and I sat down and read it because I had time. I was like, sure. And I was dying to read Volume 5, especially because Volume 6 comes out in the summer, I believe. And I really enjoyed Volume 5. It wasn't the best of the Saga volumes, but if you do not know, this is a sci-fi graphic novel series that is kind of explicit with nudity and things like that, but it's very good and the art is beautiful. Beautiful. And I'm really enjoying the series. So hopefully I can like actually buy the volumes, because I've just been like going to the library or reading them at bookstores. So yeah, but I gave this one a volume 5 a 3.75 stars, which I noticed I gave like so many books 3.75 stars this month. So this book I read was The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides, and this is about the Lisbon girls, and basically all 5 of the daughters commit suicide, and it's about these boys who are very interested and curious about them and kind of fascinated in a way by them, and they just kind of, sounds really creepy, but they kind of like spy on them and they kind of stalk them in a way, and they just really paying attention to everything that goes on with them, and they're trying to put all the pieces together even after so many years after they've all committed suicide. And it's just about this, that, and this is a classic, so I was really happy that I did that, because last month I missed my classic of the month, so for that I was like, sure, To Kill a Mockingbird can count. And then I was like, now this counts for this month, so now I'm on a roll again. But I don't want to say enjoy it, because I haven't read a book that's made me like, oh my gosh, this is really bumming me out, because like I always read books like this, but like not like this. Not where it was so dark. The writing was perfect. It was nearly perfect. Like, it was amazing. I think it really added the mood to the story. Like, if the writing wasn't what it was, it wouldn't have been as successful as it was for me. And I did give this a 3.75. I did enjoy it, and I would suggest it if you can't take books that involve suicide and things like that. So yeah. The last and final book I read was Fallen Angel by David Lamore. I do have a full-length review for this as well, but I was sent this book by the author in exchange for an honest review. I was sent an e-copy, and I really enjoyed it. Basically, it is about, it's so hard to explain because I read the back in my review, like I read the synopsis, but basically it's about this girl, and she kind of, there's this one guy on the other hand that really likes her, and she's like a swimmer and everything, and then there's this guy named Brandon that comes in, and then she meets this guy named Halil, and he later figures out she's a demon, he's a demon, and all these things go on, and there's angels and all this stuff. And I did enjoy it. It was really interesting. I really liked the biblical aspects woven in. I really liked the fast-paced writing. I did enjoy the characters. So it was very interesting. It was. Just some little things didn't match up for me, but I ended up giving this a 3.5 stars. So, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you read down below this month, and what book maybe your favorite book of the month. I know it's kind of hard to choose by the looks of it, by the ratings. Technically To Kill a Mockingbird, but at the same time I kind of loved this, even though I gave it 3.75, but I kind of loved it. So yeah, hopefully I can read more next month, and good luck to you guys in the next month of reading. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and feelings down below, and I'll see you guys next time with a new video.